Well, one of the entities that do engage in M&As are hedge funds, and they're pooled funds from different kinds of investors that use several strategies to make money. Now, New York City does boast the biggest number of hedge funds in the U.S., and you'd think that the second largest hedge fund community would be in a similar sized city like Chicago or LA. But if you did think that, you'd be wrong. CCTV's Karina takes a look at Greenwich, a town with just 65,000 people and over 300 hedge funds.
About 40 kilometers north of Manhattan in Connecticut lies the so-called Golden Triangle, with Greenwich at its epicenter. It's one of the richest communities in America and home to some of the world's biggest hedge funds.
Early 2000s, 2003 to 2005 was really the time the hedge funds started coming.
The influx has had a dramatic impact on commercial real estate prices. I'm standing in front of 2 Greenwich Plaza, which is almost entirely occupied by financial firms. Now, it may not look like a lot, but this is some pricey real estate. Leases go for around $90 a square foot, surpassing prices on the high end in Midtown Manhattan. Greenbush of commercial real estate firm CBRE says that's because it's in a prime location in an area with limited vacancies.
It's ground zero, for lack of a better term, in Greenwich. You're on the highway, you're immediately off an exit, and you're on the train station platform.
This is a major selling point. The hedge funds rely heavily on reverse commuters from Manhattan who work for them but can't afford to stay in the area. The first hedge funds to appear in and near Greenwich were started by people who already lived there, like Stephen Cohen of SAC Capital. Initially, he and other wealthy people were drawn to the community for its attractive tax advantages. At one point, there was no state income tax, its proximity to Manhattan, and grand homes and good schools. Bruce McGuire, president of the Connecticut Hedge Fund Association, says once a few prominent funds had set up business, a flood of others came pouring in.
An industry cluster starts to form, and then it becomes a recognizable address for your industry group, just like Silicon Valley is a recognizable place for people in the tech business.
But whether Greenwich remains a headquarters for hedge funds in the long term is up for debate. Connecticut's taxes are higher than they once were, and interest in other areas like Florida, where there is no state income tax, is heating up. Karina, CCTV, Greenwich, Connecticut.